Greetings. So for the past few days, I've been playtesting Navia extensively with various setup, and with that, I've learned a couple of few interesting things that you should know, including a means to get past this weird bug that's going to stop you from producing crystallized from the first hit, so that you can take into these factors into your consideration while you're trying to play her in the game. So first off, we need to talk about her burst. Normally, we would like to buff our character burst if it's possible, like using Banner's buff for Shanling because it can snapshot. But for Navia's case, that's not happening. Her burst works dynamically, so it will change according to Navia's stats at any point in time. And for that reason alone, it's just best to use Navia's burst straight away, followed by your ally's burst to enable her ability to generate crystallized reaction as you rotate through your rosters. With that, we're going to talk about her skill. Beside the main mechanics that you're familiar with, they actually implemented an interesting mechanic to her whole version, where you are practically granted a pretty high amount of points that you don't have to worry about being knocked back while you're in that state. And this is great for two reasons. One, you don't have to dodge opponent attack if you plan to face tank the hit, so that's perfect. And second, if you brought in a second Geo team members or Navia's burst is still active, you can just wait out until you got more crystallized to use her full stacks. But of course, this is limited to how you are able to tank damage. If you're fighting against tough opponents that do massive amount of burst damage, then this strategy wouldn't work. So take it as an means for you to use when the situation favors that kind of scenario. And finally, it comes down to the most weirdest interaction I have about Navia's mechanics. Her Geo Infusion. We know that using a skill, we want to smash normal attack as fast as possible to generate as much crystallized for Navia. But what if I tell you that doing that is counterintuitive? If you try to use her skill and normal attack immediately, you realize that you doesn't generate crystallize from the first hit, which shouldn't be the case if the 3 hit rule still stands true. So what can we do? So what I did, I went through a couple of hours of testing and experimenting. I finally found a pretty consistent means to get more crystallized shard for Navia. And believe it or not, the solution is to wait. Yes, it sounds strange, but if you were to use a skill and give it some slight delay before attacking with a normal attack, you'll be able to generate more crystallized for her. And you can practice this by looking at when the Gumbrella start to touch the ground, and that will be a nice cue for you to go on ahead and use a normal attack. And I would suggest to do an N3, but cancel at the moment when you start to see the X twirl in mid-air, then follow up with an N2. And if everything is right, you should be able to generate extra crystallized for Navia. And do note, it's quite tricky to get the timing right. If you do it too fast, you will not generate crystallized on the first hit. But if you do it too slow, you'll not be able to generate the extra crystallized shard for Navia. So it does take some practice, and your best friend right here, the Electro Cube, will be your best training buddies. With that, that is all I've found about Navia's game mechanics that you should know that will impact how you're going to decide how her rotation would be in the team comps you plan to bring her to. And as usual, hopefully you enjoy the rest of the day, and goodbye.